Good morning, my friends. How are you today? A little bit earlier today, right? Coco and I got an early jump on the morning. Got a lot to do. We have our IRS auditor coming back this morning, so we want to get those last piles of papers all straightened out for her and tabbed and marked and tallied. So, I have mentioned that I'm going to be breaking one of my cardinal rules. And no, it's definitely not skipping my Diet Coke, Bjorn. That's not happening. So I'm going there, and as a matter of fact, I might even get something to eat, which is another thing I shouldn't be doing, eating fast food, but okay, well, I'll live. I have a major rule against talking about politics in general. I don't really enjoy politics. I don't debate politics, and I certainly don't put politics on social media. This is extra ironic because my major in college before I went to law school was government, so I think that's kind of funny. I'm a government major who does not want to talk about government in any way. And it's usually because I just think it's so ineffective. I think it's real hard to change people's mind on things. I think everybody just likes to get in an argument. And as my mama would say, she says, people just go ape. So that's my biggest gripe, is people going ape over things, and I don't get into that. I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy drama. Got too much to do in life, too many positive, upbeat things to do. And my theory is always where I have real influence in my sphere, and we all do. We all have influence in our sphere, and that's where I want to spend all my time, is where I can make a difference. You know, I've always said, instead of going out, nothing against it if you want to, but I'm not ever going to stand out probably and hold signs and twirl them, you know, for a candidate. That's not for me to do, because I said if I just get to work a little harder, work on my business, I can make a lot bigger difference in the lives of my employees. I can hire more employees, and I've seen that happen. So that's always been my stance. However, there is a time when you got to do what you think is the right thing. And let me tell you what, on a national scale, I'm very rarely going to go there because it's going to be hard to make a difference. And I know you're going to say it doesn't matter, do it anyway, but that's just not the way I work. But on a local scale, we've got some local elections coming up that I think are really, really important for our town. And I think a lot of you in other towns are going to be dealing with this more and more as we go along, with the towns cracking down on Airbnb type situations, vacation rental, short-term rental situations. And I know there's going to be a lot of heated thoughts and opinions on this, and I'm going to have some of them. But, I mean, that's the space we work in. So there comes a point where, you know, you don't want to just get into debate for debate's sake, and you don't want to get people riled up at you for absolutely no good reason. But it also can become irresponsible if you have at least informed opinions, and you want to share those, or you feel you need to. So that's kind of where we are on this deal. I'm not that thrilled about it, but I just think the time has come. Wes and I have talked about it a lot. He's been very concerned about some of the changes our town has been looking at making regarding B&Bs. And yes, I know the arguments on both sides. I'm pretty good at anticipating what people will say, and I understand there's two sides to everything. But in this case, needless to say, I'm going to be pro B&B, and I'm going to be making those arguments. I think it's a foundation stone of our community. It's part of our charm. Anything can be taken out of hand and can get out of hand, but I don't believe in throwing out the baby with the bath. I believe in, you know, dealing with the problem people where there are and regulating them to the degree you need to do so. Make sure everybody's paying their taxes. Make sure people are being quiet and not being disrespectful of their neighbors. One moment there. A large Diet Coke and an Egg McMuffin, please.
That'll be all for you?
That's it. Thank you. All right, and I'm back. So I don't know how you guys feel about this. I will say this: I openly welcome debate, especially informed debate if you've done a little digging. But even if you haven't, you have a right to an opinion. What I do not welcome and what I will not deal with at all is people going ape or having walleye fits. And when I look at things about local elections here, sometimes I read people's posts and I'm just appalled. I'm like, you don't need to be getting so mean about things, you know. Have an opinion and allow there to be room for disagreement. Can we all agree to that? Because if we can, I will listen to other sides all day long, as long as they're spoken with kindness. You can be passionate, but you can still be kind. And that's my biggest beef with politics. People get nutso. So tonight, isn't it 6:30 or 6 to 7:30? I'll I'll post an update in the notes. We are going to be attending a meeting that they are putting on with the mayoral candidates as well as the city council candidates. It's going to be at the University Center here, and I believe the HEB room. I think it's 6 to 7:30, but I will double confirm that. And I promise you, Wes and I are going to be there, Lord willing. Something doesn't happen to us. I shouldn't tempt y'all. We're going to be there, and we're going to be there to speak up if needed, but we're also there to learn. I know an awful lot about B&Bs. I mean, since 2001, I've been doing this, but I don't know everything. And I'm always open to listen to what the objections are and say, you know what, instead of just cutting off our nose to spite our face, how about we look for alternatives that work for everybody? Especially when it goes to, I mean, this is Texas, right? We protect property rights. I'm not a fan of going in there and changing zoning that has existed the 22 years I've lived in this town and that people have made financial decisions on, based their businesses on. I know you can say, well, if we change the regulations, we can still possibly grandfather you, but yes, that's going to affect your ability to sell your property, and you made your purchasing decision at that time based on your ability to sell if that day ever came along, right? And I don't think that's right. No backsies. So we're going to address all of that, look into it. I'm very curious to hear what all of the candidates think. We've made some calls to some and have started the process to learn. But guys, we got to get serious about this, because even people like me who don't like to get involved in politics, there comes the time when, you know, what do they say, you know, something, for everything to go bad, all it takes is for good people to do nothing. And so the time has come for us to all step up. If you live in this town, if you have investment property, if you want to protect your rights, we're going to have to do something about it, because the I believe vocal minority are getting out of control with this situation. I will tell you too, you know, people, I know they're going to talk about property values and how this runs up property values, and how we'd like it to be the way it used to be. And, you know, I just feel like we can't afford to be romantic or fancy, as Gary Vaynerchuk would say, about what is. It just is. It's progress. It's going to happen. We're not going to defeat it. So let's come together and try to find a way to make it as positive progress as we can, and deal with any negatives as they come up. Deal with the people who make problems, not with the 99% who are not making problems. So that's going to be a big part of the issue, is talking about property values, I know. And I will let y'all in on one little secret, because being in both the B&B side as well as the real estate side, I have a unique perspective in one way. Everyone in our company does. And it's that you'd be shocked how many times we all hear, you know, oh, the people who've lived here so long can't afford to live here, or it's very expensive. And it is expensive, no doubt. We're a resort community, without a doubt. But I will tell you, the people that come in our office expecting the most money when they want to list, that we've had to walk away from so many listings, are people that have been here forever. The people that come in, and we feel bad for them almost, because they come in with this false idea of what they're going to be able to get for their property that's often in bad repair, terrible repair sometimes, low. And the amount of money they want for that, thank you, ma'am, and the amount of money they want for it is a crime. It's not the new investors coming in asking these prices. We have walked away from 3 interesting listings lately, 4 big locals, old school locals, wanting crazy prices. The most overpriced listing in this town is a commercial property, in my opinion, and our firm, among others, you know, told the gentleman, old school, old local, what the property was worth on the high end, being in the $1.5 to $2 million range on the up end, and to see it listed up over 3 times that. Not by us, I mean, part of that, but it's not these people coming in, guys. Everybody can get dollar signs in their eyes, okay? It's a human condition. So let's just work at the source, and educate and inform, and it doesn't do anybody good to take those foolish listings, because no one's going to buy that. So, okay, well, we're going to finish a little bit earlier today on the drive, because I didn't realize when you'd go at this time of day, McDonald's drive-thru is a little busy, and I would kind of like to eat my what you call that thing there, Egg McMuffin, before I get to work. So from Coco and I, we say goodbye. Say bye, Coco Bean. Bye, babies. Oh, she loves watching the cars. Talk to y'all later. Hope you can make it to the meeting tonight. Bye.